Hello friends, this is the horoscope for Gemini sign for the year 2020. The year 2020 is very significant in that sense that there are many big planets in the sign of Capricorn, which we talked about in the previous year as well in some of the special videos. You can find them on my channel. These are videos about Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, lunar nodes and eclipses on the south on the Cancer Capricorn axis. So if you wish, you can check those videos because I'm not going to repeat here everything that I said there about Gemini sign. That's impossible to put together in one video. But if you watch them, you most probably know where are all of those planets for Gemini. And we will now shortly again explain what that means. So people who have Sun, mainly Ascendant, and eventually Moon in Gemini, during the year 2020 solve similar issues as in the year 2019, with the difference that now the planet Jupiter is entering the same field, the same area of life, which is changing and facilitating everything significantly. Please let me remind you that astrology helps us to better understand ourselves and our life path, but finally that all depends on which level of spiritual development one is. So some people are very much under the influence of transits, and transits are destroying them. This is because those people do not want to understand that such things can happen to them and that they are necessarily to happen to them. And there are other people who are not very much under the influence of transits because they know even in advance what is coming and how to deal with those energies. So the great players, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter for Gemini are in the 8th astrological house. This is a Scorpio house, and Gemini and Scorpio are complete antipodes. So Gemini people do not really know how to deal well with this house. It is a mysterious place. It is hard to reach place, house of psychological and energy transformations. So psychological transformations and energetical transformations. But at the same time, Jupiter arrives there at the end of 2019 and 2020, and many Gemini people now will solve their issues, concerning the 8th astrological house. Many Gemini people had in the last years some severe psychic attitudes, let's say it like that, fears, or had problems in financial or potentially in sexual life. So partnerships were not working really well. So Jupiter will now be very useful here because it brings light and hope that everything can be explained and resolved. Just Gemini people need to gain some knowledge about the meaning of this area of life. They need to understand it better. And Jupiter brings knowledge usually. Some Gemini were restricted in the past years because of loans, mortgages, or joint venture businesses, or were unable to share property after the divorce. There are some of these. Or were seeking to resolve some family secrets or family spiritual or material inheritance. They were dealing with the inheritance, any type of inheritance. Some people were doing this even subconsciously, and some people were doing concretely. Doesn't matter if it's spiritual or material inheritance. So family issues are also here. Many did not share what is going on within themselves. So now Jupiter will allow Gemini people to resolve those things and maybe to open themselves to some people who can help them. So maybe they can meet a therapist or an astrologer or a psychologist, or some sort of a guru will enter their life and they will open themselves, and maybe due to good contact with some person or a group of people, they will start understanding themselves in this context. Uranus is in the 12th astrological house, and Uranus prepares Gemini people to distance themselves from their past and to be more aware of their internal processes, spiritual or psychological processes. You see, many things are happening inside of Gemini people, and they are not talking about that as much as they should, because Gemini people like to talk a lot, but not about that, their deep inner feelings, or about their fears, never at all. So now is the time for that. So the eclipses show that Rahu, North Node, is for Geminis in the second house, and the North Node leads many to change their relationship to money and work. Some people just started working for the first time during the 2019. Some changed the job, and some are now more interested in money than ever before because they need it to make their life more secure, or because they want to secure themselves for the many years in advance. That's also here. Nodes also indicate that family business or some family heritage is in focus, and Gemini people will see how to do with this. They will continue to do, for example, family business or things like that. Watch my video Lunar Nodes on Cancer Capricorn axis if you want to learn more about nodes for Geminis. Nodes will be in the same area of life until May 2020, and from the summer 2020 on, in the next year, 2021 and further years, Geminis will not deal with these issues anymore, So, first year of 2020 is actually the time when they will understand many of those subjects we shortly described, and then it's finished. Neptune is very significant for Gemini people because it has been confusing them about their ambitions, and this is something that makes Gemini people quite uncomfortable. They like to make things clear and simple. But Neptune can be on the other side, even if it's confusing, can be very interesting for Gemini who are involved in art, and many are involved in art, in music, or it's good for those who want to help others to work in a caritative jobs. But generally, Neptune in the 10th house Neptune teaches Gemini people through the 10th house how not to worry, to be more relaxed, to change plans about the future, to accommodate according to situation. This is a very good lesson for Geminis. They need to calm down because they're generally nervous people. So during the year 2020, Neptune will 3 times make sextile to Jupiter, which is fantastic. And this will help Gemini people to resolve many of their worries, to make their future visions clear and future goals, and to feel more relaxed and to understand themselves in the best possible way. This is a very good aspect. Some are more religious with this Neptune, and religion is an excellent thing for Geminis in this period of their life. They should go to the church or whatever they consider the place of their religion, or study to meditate and do things like that. It is significant that in the summer of the year 2020, the North Node moves into the sign of Gemini for the first time after 18 years. Then eclipses will occur on Gemini Sagittarius axis. The first one will be in the summer, and then at the end of the year 2020, there are going to be 2 on this axis. And this brings Gemini and Sagittarius people into focus. So one 18-year cycle finishes and starts a new one. These are cycles of spiritual growth, extremely important. Many things we do unconsciously because we are following the nodes. And nodes are saying what do we need to do in our concrete material life in order to be more spiritual, or to fulfill our life, to find the meaning in life also. This is very important where North Node is going. So, with this transit, many people decide to marry, to divorce, to relocate. Big life decisions are made when nodes are on our axis. So now shortly about that, and we will speak more about this during the year 2021. Chiron is in Aries and has been helping Gemini people to find their place in the society in which they live. And exactly this area will be challenged during the 2020 because Mars is going to be retrograde in the 12th astrological house. It's very strong. It will make square to Pluto even in October. It is a little bit dangerous time. Maybe Gemini people should not go to squares or to some public demonstrations in this time. This in a way triggers the position of Gemini people that they were building for themselves in the society where they live or generally among the people that they cooperate with. It will be good for them to be as aware as possible about this in fall so that they cannot cause conflicts with friends and people that they're in contact with through projects, clubs, or social networks. Mercury will be retrograde 3 times in the year 2020, and always when it's retrograde, he influences Gemini people, he stops them and makes them to calm down a little bit and to go deeper into themselves. During this year will mostly affect Gemini from February to March, when some war contracts will be settled. It is the time when people usually pay taxes and these kind of things, so be careful about that. And if possible, do not sign anything significant until the end of March, let's say. And that's all what I wanted to shortly tell you about Gemini people in the year 2020. If you are interested in personal consultations, you can certainly contact me. You will see that I have consultations based on Thetahealing, that is the sort of spiritual energetic healing of Feng shui also, and I also have different types of astrological consultancy. Please note that I am not dealing with classical astrology or predictions of the future, but I am dealing with astrological psychology and spiritual astrology. The goal of those two is to enter into deeper layers of beings, clarify the internal mechanism, and find the meaning and connection between everything that is happening in one's life. I also offer via my web pages Symbolic Thinking an astrological course for beginners that you can buy and follow online. Many other materials I have in Czech and Serbian, not that much in English, but hopefully it will be in the future. So if you like the video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, share it. Thank you very much for that in advance. I wish you much happiness, strength, and love during the year 2020.